So the pound is still quite bearish. The only thing is we have a structural point at the 159.80. Okay, and we did break close below it for 2 consecutive weeks. We have closed below the structural point twice now for 2 weeks. We are still below the structural point, which is quite negative. The only disappointing thing is that we were hoping for a major decline as soon as it breaks the structure point, which we did not have. This relates that the dollar just is as weak as the pound, but this is very bearish for the pound, and it should lead to a further decline. Having said that, our buy as far as the dollar, the pound dollar, is only above the 159.80, and that is a structural buy. So the above 159, 1.5980, that is a buy signal, a structural long as on the pound dollar, and it is also our buying point. So the long point and the structural point is one and the same, because this week we have just closed pretty close at 59.80. So we just closed this week. Our close is 159.42. So this is our buy point, and it's our long point, and it is also our structural point. So we'll be looking at that to be taking the trade to the long side. Just go to the daily chart and see if there is anything. We did have quite a reversal on Friday on the pound dollar. We did trade below the prior day's low and 2 days low, and actually 3 days low. Look at this. We traded above, we came back above 3 days, above 2 days, and we are closing 2 days low is 59.43. We're just at 2 days low. This is a very good clue for us going into tomorrow. What would I mean by that? Normally looking at this, that is quite a reversal pattern, because when you trade below 1, 2, or 3 days low and you reverse and to close back above those 3 days lows, that is quite positive. So under normal circumstances, I would be looking to buy the pound first thing in the morning, because this is a very positive setup, and it is a reversal setup, and we close near the high of the day, so we're not going to kick this, we're not going to knock it. That is what we see. This is the setup. But the nice thing here is that 159.42 is just about 30 pips away from the structural point. So all what we are going to do is just we're going to hold back on our buying for about 30 pips. We're going to wait to buy the pound dollar if it gets above the 159.80. Okay, as it stands, this is a positive setup. As it stands, we would be looking to buy. We trade, this is what we see, this is where we're going to base our judgment. We're not going to say that we're negative on the pound and we think it's, that's not the way we trade. This is, if we're going to get a short covering rally in the pound, let's at least take advantage of it. But in this case, we have quite a nice setup. It's a high probability setup. It's a setup that gives us a low risk trade because we have a well-defined entry point. We have a kind of a reversal, and once we trade above the 59.80 and above that daily high, I mean, look, this daily high is 55 and 3 days low is 43. I mean, this is such a combination of highs, lows, and structure point. It's a beaut. Okay, I mean, this is something, number one, it's going to take a great deal of work to break through this. And of course, once it does break, then it should give us a big move. So this attempts to break this solid area is going to be a lot of whipsaws back and forth, up and down, and you don't want to get caught into it. Even though we're going to leave 20 pips on the table, but you don't want to be knocked around and you get phased out of the trade and you miss a big move. So as that, I would suggest you to wait, because this is quite a solid area for the pound to penetrate. So you want to wait until it gets above the 159.80. Our short, if it fails that, then our short is going to be below the 159.23. So if it trades below 159.23, we can take that on the short side. So our short point is going to be the 159.23. That will be our shorting point. As you see, this is, as I said, this is quite a positive close. It came back from 3 days low, 5 days low, came all the way back above the prior day's low. So we have quite a reversal, and that is our structure point. This is the only thing that we're going to leave on the table, and that is what's going to give us safety, because once we break above the 59.80, then we're looking at the 160 and we're looking for a bigger push up. So we are now at 2 days low. This is where we closed. So with that, we are, whatever it does out of the opening range, okay, if it breaks to the downside and it's below the prior day's low, which is our 158, we're going 159.20, we're going to take it to the short side. If it breaks above the opening range, we are not going to take the buy. We are only going to take the buy above the 159.80. All right?